Welcome back to the Dino and Nelson Show, heard on the weekends on KTLK AM 1150. And we have a special guest, Dino, Jamie Wilkinson. And we're laughing because I misspelled her name on our notes here, and it reads as what?
Jaime.
Jaime.
Yeah. And she is far from a Jaime.
Yeah. Jamie Wilkinson with Remax Premier. And get a load of this, Dino. Jamie has been in this business for 33 years. She's seen a couple of different economic cycles. She has virtually the entire alphabet in professional designations behind her name. I don't know if you noticed that. You didn't know what half of these things were, did you? I
asked her actually what exactly, what is it, CRS? Certified Residential Specialist is.
That's correct.
Certified Residential Specialist for relocations, and she's one of the top agents out of the RE/MAX organization. It's really a delight to have you here with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So after all these years, and I don't say that
you make it sound like she's old and gray.
No, she's experienced.
Extremely experienced.
Wise counselor, the fount of all real estate knowledge. I mean, what else could I say?
I think that's the best way to say it.
I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
I like that.
So clearly, 3.5 decades, you've seen economic cycle. I know in my career, I've gone through 5 specific economic cycles. Nothing as severe as what we've experienced beginning in 2007. But you've seen the market go through these turns and recover.
Of course, you have to realize that every time Nelson has an economic cycle, it just means because he doesn't have $5 in his wallet.
Oh, nice. And there's only been 5 of them. Perfect, huh? So obviously the market is showing the signs of recovery. Do you buy into it? Are we on recovery?
I think we are. I think it's going to be a slow, steady recovery, but I do believe that we are. Right now in my area, we do not have enough inventory. So it's really helping the price points. And I see that in other areas also.
And you're headquartered down in Irvine.
Irvine, yes.
Greater Orange County area, but Irvine is where your expertise is. And I know when we spent some time before the show, you were talking about how you've become an expert in other areas as well, just by nature of the 33 years that you've spent in the business. So you work in the Newport Beach and the Turtle Rock.
Yes.
Greater Irvine area.
Originally, I started out as a relocation specialist with a large company, which has since relocated to the Midwest. And because of that, I had to learn all of the Orange County area, North County, South County, the beach areas, anything that would relate to the people who are coming from the other areas throughout the United States. And these people were concentrated on the area closest to their working environment. They wanted to buy a house quickly, and I had to show them a lot of houses quickly.
Well, and that's the one of the challenges with the inventory as we've gone through the summer months and moved into the third quarter. Inventories are down, but these employees, the corporate market doesn't really have a tolerance for low inventory. They need to get their employees out and in work. So what do you do?
Well, in some cases, we have to rent to them. In other cases, the company will help them with the mortgage. But we really have to get out there and dig and find something for them, something that makes them comfortable.
You know, this is what I think makes her so good at her job is when you're working with a relo company, you got people from out of the state that have no idea where they're at. And literally, they could be 5 blocks away from their perfect neighborhood, but would never know it just because they don't know the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And your job, unlike other realtors that just show people around and because people already know or think they know where they want to live, you actually have to educate them.
Yes, which takes some time. I mean, I've actually had people cry in my car. They're not going to get the same type of house that they would get at, say, Indiana. It's going to be a lot smaller.
There's a much bigger culture shock when they come out here.
I really try to explain to them about, California. We're here because of the weather, because, you have access to all of the amenities in your neighborhood. You're just a few minutes to the beach, maybe a half an hour to, a lake. You can go to the mountains in an hour, the desert.
You ever tell them that now that you're living in California, you gotta start learning how to be laid back?
That's
you can't let these things bother you.
Oh, geez, well, here we go.
When I see them a year or so later, they completely get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the laid back comment is coming from somebody that's Greek. I mean, where you have one thing to do during the day, which is wake up. A second thing to do is eat, and the third is go back to bed. Right?
It's very laid back. Nothing bothers me. It's awesome.
If you just tuned in, you're listening to the Dino and Nelson Show on KTLK AM 1150, and we're with Jamie Wilkinson from RE/MAX Premier. If you have any questions while we're talking with Jamie, give us a shout. You can reach us direct at 888-814-3335.
That's 888-814-3335.
Or you can text.
One more time since we screwed it up so bad. That's 888-814-3335, or text the word refi to 313131.
Thanks for jumping in with that. So there's plenty of challenges in the real estate market, and one of them is certainly the inventory like you were talking, but you've got other things that are big problems right now, one of them being the lending community, correct?
Yes. It is. We're finding it very difficult to find loans that fit the needs of the buyer, and the lenders have cracked down quite a bit. But it depends on who you work with. You have to have good credit, and you have to have longevity on the job. You would know more about that than I do, since you're mortgage brokers.
We had another article that came.
You would think we know a little bit about that, right?
You would think. There was another article that came out, and it was a consumer awareness piece that was written on things to be careful of, and one of them was on people that are referencing the credit repair or credit improvement types of work of, oh boy, if somebody is referencing that, you got to look out. There's the radar, the flares going up and concerns, but I don't see it that way at all. I mean, obviously, there's plenty of economic hurt and credit hurt coming out of the recession. People do need to be aligned with the credit repair companies that can help them restore their credit.
Yeah, I have to say that I've done short sales in the last few years, and it's not very often that lenders agree to do a loan modification. And perhaps it's because of our area where things will sell anyway. The only places I've really known of loan modifications were in a depressed area where the houses are sitting, and